I would now like to go over, and I'm going to start to read problem 7-18, activity-based costing and bidding on the job. Mercer's Asbestos Removal Company removes potentially toxic asbesto insulation and related products from buildings. There has been a long simmering dispute between the company's estimator and the work supervisor. The on-site supervisors claim that the estimators do not adequately distinguish between routine work, such as the removal of asbestos insulation from heating pipes in older homes, and non-routine work, such as removing asbestos-contaminated ceiling plasters in industrial buildings. The on-site supervisors believe that non-routine work is far more expensive than routine work and should be a higher charge to the customers. The estimator sums up his position in this way: "My job is to measure the area to be cleared of asbestos. As directed by the top management, I simply multiply the square footage by $250 to determine a bid price. So since the average cost is $2.17.5 per square foot, that leaves enough cushion to take care of the additional cost of non-routine work that shows up besides. It's difficult to know what is routine and not routine until you actually start tearing things down. To shed light on this controversy, the company initiated an activity-based costing study in all of its costs. Data from the activity-based costing system provides us with the first step in developing this. It defines the activity pools. It defines how that activity will be measured and the total of the activity. So the total for the activity to removing asbestos is thousands of square feet. There's 800,000 square feet. Estimating the job setup is the number of jobs, and estimated jobs are 500. Working on non-routine jobs, number of non-routine jobs, 100 non-routine jobs. The organization sustaining an idle capacity is in the other, and there is no measure because that is not allocated. As we go down, we can actually see that the manufacturing cost as well as the non-manufacturing cost that we are to allocate is given to us as $1,740,000. How will we allocate it? Wages is given to us. We'll need $300,000 would be allocated to wages, $700,000 to disposal fees, $90,000 to equipment depreciation, $50,000 to on-site supplies, office expenses of $200,000, and licenses and insurance of $400,000. So the total cost that we will allocate based on the activity pools of the removing of asbestos, estimating jobs, working on non-routine jobs, and other, which is the organization sustaining cost or idle capacity cost. So how would we allocate it? They did give us an allocation schedule, and I have a couple that you cannot see. I think that you'll get this is pretty clear as far as the wages for removing asbestos is 50%. So 50% of wages and salary is $300,000. If you go to other percentage is 10. So the 10% of 300,000 is 30,000. Equipment depreciation has a total cost of $90,000, And they tell us in the schedule, equipment depreciation, 5% should go to estimating jobs. And if 10% is 9,000, 5% would be 4,500. And on-site supplies is actually, on-site supplies is at 0%, so you wouldn't have anything there. And license and insurance is in the working on non-routine jobs is $200,000. And how did they allocate that? You would go down to license insurance. 50% is allocated to the non-routine jobs. So that would be 50% of the $400,000. The rest is calculated in the same manner. So now, we now have the actual estimating of jobs and setup, and that's $776,000. In allocating our cost to the activity pools, I noticed when I was actually going to go through the calculation that the column C was incorrect. It should be job size. Job size is 776,000. Estimated and job setup is 119,500. And work on non-routine is $643,000. The total activity given to us in the problem was 800,000 square feet, 500 jobs, and 100 non-routine jobs. So to actually calculate the activity rate, to calculate the activity rate, you would take 776,000 divided by 800,000 square feet. So it's $970 per 1,000 square feet. The estimating and job setup is 119,500. The activity is 500 jobs. So you would take 119,500 divided by 500 jobs, so it's 239 per job. And working on non-routine jobs is 643,000, and there's 100 non-routine jobs. So each non-routine job is $6,430. We don't allocate the other because the information in the problem told us that they were idle or organization sustaining activities, in which are not allocated in activity-based costing. We have now taken the activity cost to an activity pool. We calculated the activity rates. So now we are ready to assign the cost to objects. So in the problem, they ask us to actually, in 3, using the activity rates you have computed, determine the total cost and the average cost per 1,000 square feet for each of the following. If you have a routine 1,000 square foot asbestos removal job. So we have 1,000 square feet asbestos removal job. So we know for 1,000 square feet, the amount is per 1,000 square feet, it would be $970. That's for 1,000 square feet. The estimated job and the setup is $239 per job. It does not include any non-routine jobs. So the total cost of the job is $1,209, and if you divide that by 1,000 square feet, it remains the same. Now, in routine 2, they say, well, what would happen if we had a 2,000 square foot job? Job 2 is 2,000 square foot, so to be 2 times the 970, which is $1,940. The estimating and job setup is $239, and there are no non-routine jobs, so that would be 0. So the total cost per job would be $2,179. The cost per square foot is $2,179 divided by 2, which is $1,089. Now remember, they actually charge $2.50, and they simply just take the square footage by $2.50 to determine the price bid. So as you can see in the first assignment of cost to the $1,000 job, they'll be charging enough. Okay. Now let's look at the non-routine 2,000 square foot job. For the non-routine, there's 2,000 square foot at $970 per product, which is $1,940. The estimating and job setup is $239, but the non-routine jobs are $6,430 for each job. So we have a non-routine job, and we can see that the total cost of this job is $8,609. There is evidence here. The work supervisors do have evidence here that they're undercharging the non-routine jobs based on the $2.50 per square foot, and it needs to be looked at and develop ways that you can determine the non-routine jobs during the bidding process. This presents a problem when you have a job that costs more than you're actually bidding at, because what you do is you take the profits from the routine jobs to cover the non-routine jobs, and that isn't the correct way to manage the bidding process. This is evidence that they have to look into it and maybe increase the time it takes to look for the non-routine jobs to prevent having other jobs subsidize more expensive jobs.